going on, guys? It's Enemy here, and today we are back again with another video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and today I will be talking about how I rescued, I believe 8 cats or 7 cats. So, anyways, this is the story of how I rescued 7 cats. There was a cat one day that came to our house. And when the cat came to our house, it didn't want to get near us. If we get close to it, it kind of run away and back off. But it really liked food. So after a couple of weeks of weaning it onto food and trying to help the cat and trying to get it to where we can eat food, so we were like, oh, okay, we can take care of this cat and we can let it go. Because in my neighborhood, there is a lot of cats that need homes and adoptions and all that stuff. So we tried to do that as much as possible. So when we finally the cat got used to us, I spent 2 weeks. Every single day I'd come home from school and I would go to that cat and I'd try to feed it with my hands. And then one day it finally ate from it. It was very scrawny when we found it, and we were trying to feed it so it would get a little bit more health. So we thought that it was just it getting fat because it was eating so much compared to 3 weeks ago when it was very scrawny. But it progressively got bigger and bigger, its belly, and turns out we found out that it was a she, and I named it Jacket. So we figured out that it was pregnant. So we were kind of monitoring her, and my cat, my only cat that we actually own, her name is Kimberly, and she kind of left. She went to my neighbor's yard, and she lived there from now on. So we would bring food to her every day, and we would keep food for Jacket in our carport. So we were trying to make a nice and homey place so she could have her babies there, so we'd be able to monitor the babies. But the only thing is, one day she went missing for 2 days. She came back with blood on her fur, and we couldn't figure out why. And then I remembered, oh my gosh, she was pregnant and her belly is really deflated. So I immediately made a cage for the kittens. We went to a store and we got a little pin so they can play around in. And so I set that up and I was like, okay, Mom, I'm going to go looking for the kittens. So one Sunday, my family and we went to go look for them, but we couldn't find them. So it took about a week for us we had to follow Jacket. We had to make sure that she was okay, that she was well nourished, and we had to bring a bunch of stuff. What she would do is she kind of run off after she ate food, and I kept on trying to get back inside because we would feed her around dinner time. So I would quickly eat dinner, I would run outside, but she'd be gone. So we asked our neighbors, we were like, hey, do you see any kittens? And none of them said no, but our neighbor said that she would keep an eye out for them. So one day, our neighbor called us, and she was like, hey, I think I found where your kittens might be, and you should probably check in the next door neighbors that are directly next to you. So eventually, I decided after school one day that I would walk over and I would try to go explore. So I knocked on the door and I said, excuse me, sir, hey, we have suspicions that there are kittens in your garage, so we're going to check if that's okay with you. And he said yes. So Jacket was following us the whole entire time. And all of a sudden I heard a little meow, meow. It was so cute. So we found the kittens. They were in the garage. We just didn't know where they were in the garage. My neighbor has a really messy garage, has a lot of wood, a lot of bricks, and it was just really messy, and it was almost impossible to find them. So I was out there for about an hour trying to look for the kittens. Finally, I looked behind a piece of wood and I found all of the kittens. At first I thought there were 3, but it turns out that there were 6 kittens. 6 kittens. Do you know how rare it is for a cat to have 6 kittens? It was insane. I looked in there and all of them were the same color except for this one gorgeous one that was gray. So 6 kittens. I had no idea what to do. So I kind of left them there. I left some milk there for them so they can maybe get some food and stuff. And my mom and I went to the vet the next day, and we had to figure out what we can feed them. when they eventually wean off the milk. And I was busy thinking about how I was going to rescue them. Because there's no way they could stay in a very closed-in garage behind a piece of wood. It could collapse any second and hurt them. So I was asking my mom if there's anything that I could do, if I could rescue them, and she said, we can keep them at our house in the pen that you made. So I got all my family members, and we went over there, and it was a team mission. So what we did is we walked over there. We all had silicone gloves on, because if we touched the cat before they were old enough, then if we touched the kittens before they were old enough, then that means the mother would disown them, and we would have to like hand feed them. So we were trying to avoid that, so we put on silicone gloves. And what we did is we tried to transport them, only kittens move, and they were very scared of us, because I didn't have time to like get them used to me. So we walked over there, all of us, and we got four kittens, and we are finally transporting them over to the pen. And then one person my sister was watching the kittens in the pen, and then my brother's girlfriend, my mom, and my dad were out helping us try and find the other two. So once we went to go reach for them behind the piece of wood, they ran out under like a giant like plywood kind of thing. And when they ran under that, we couldn't reach it because it's such a small space that only they could fit in. So I sat there for about an hour with a flashlight. It was dark now, and it was making me really nervous because I didn't want the kittens to get hurt if they got stuck under there. And I tried to grab them, but I couldn't reach them. My mom came out and told me, hey, we gotta stop for now. So the next day, as soon as I got home I had to cover them up in the pen so they wouldn't get out, because they were learning how to climb out of the pen. So I had to cover it up, and as soon as I woke up in the morning, I ran out with my pajamas, and I looked in the pen, and they were all gone. All four that we had captured and managed to keep safe were gone. It was horrible. And so as soon as I got home from school, I grabbed my brother and my brother's girlfriend, and we ran over to our neighbor's yard, and they were still there. So I said, oh my goodness, thank the Lord. So, you must be wondering, what did I do after that? With my brother's girlfriend by my side, we got all 6 kittens. The 2 kittens that had escaped the original time, they went back over to where they were. So they were all there, and we kind of captured them again, and they escaped again. So I decided, okay, this isn't working, so I gotta gain the trust. So what I did is I took my cat's, Kimberly's, food, and that's a dry food. That's not good for kittens. Kittens have to, if they're at a certain age, they have to have really soft food. So what I did is I got some warm water, and I put the cat food in the paper plate, and I put warm water in it, and it would make like the food really soggy so the kittens could eat it. So I'd go out there every single day, twice a day, maybe even 3 times a day, how I was feeling. And I would place the plate out there, and I would sit right in front of the plate. I had to back up a little bit, but eventually they gained my trust, and I was allowed to touch them at least. They were still scared of me, and if I made any sudden movement, she would feed them, and I would try to go over, and I would sit right next to her so I could show that the kittens that I wasn't harmful. So after about a week of that, they were probably around 8 weeks old at that point, and that's the age where humans can touch them. So what we were doing is I got my brother again, and we tried to get him out. So we got him out, but this time we had a different pen. What we did is we got my dog's old dog cage. We don't use it anymore, but my dogs are really, really big dogs, and they could both fit in that cage. So what I did is I got both of those cages, and I put them in the big one that was completely closed off on all 6 ends. So it was a completely closed space with a gate and all that good stuff. So I put them all in there. I had a litter box. I had a nice little cushiony place. I had a platform. I had like a mouse toy hanging. I was ready to go. So we got them all in there, and I managed to name all of them. Their names were Gray, Luna, Spot, Junior, Boots, and Mud. They were all so cute. All 6 of them were so very cute. And at times, I would sit in the cage with the door closed, and I just let them climb and just have fun. And I would pet them, and you had to be gentle with them because they were about as big as your 2 hands put together. That was about how big they were. I could cup them in both my hands. They're very beautiful kittens, and I love them so very much. So I grew up with, like, I helped them grow up, and I taught them how to, like, climb and how to do all that stuff. And Jacket was still feeding them with her milk. So eventually, we had it to where we were trying to get them to have more food. So we had more wet food and stuff. And eventually, they weaned off of drinking milk from Jacket, and Jacket was starting to go everywhere. So we did that, and it was actually pretty nice. They turned out very well. They were all very healthy. None of them had any injuries or anything. So it was great. Junior would do this cute thing where he would just like scratch at me. And there's this one time where I put my finger in the cage, and he just started scratching it. It was so cute. They were all very cute. And so it was time to start looking for a home because we were only fostering them. My mom's extremely allergic to cats, so we couldn't keep them, sadly. I wish I could. I tried to convince her if I could keep at least one of them, and she said no. So we had to give them up, and we were ready to get our cat Kimberly back because she kind of like disowned us because she was mad at us. So eventually I was at this Mexican restaurant one night, and then my brother told me that, hey, there's a person who might want the cats. This person was friends with my brother, who's in college, and so she came over with her husband, and she looked at the cats, she played with them for a good hour, and then she said, I want to take all of them. Of course, I was kind of stunned, because this was kind of for, like, last minute, because I thought I had, like, a week left with them, or something like that, and I didn't. So my mom made a deal with her. She was going to give her $50 and $100 so she could pay for vaccines and stuff. So all of them were given up. So I said my final goodbyes, and I cried a little bit, I'm not going to lie, but I got a nice cuddle with all of them. I was trying not to cry in front of them. But I thanked them, I gave them a hug, and I said goodbye. Those cats were the first cats that I have ever fostered. Those cats were wonderful. I love them so very much, and I helped them grow up to who they were. It's always great to foster, and you guys should do it too. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoy these types of videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Back because she kind of like disowned us because she was mad at us. So eventually I was at this Mexican restaurant one night, and then my brother told me that, hey, there's a person who might want the cats. This person was friends with my brother, who's in college, and so she came over with her husband, and she looked at the cats, she played with them for a good hour, and then she said, I want to take all of them. Of course, I was kind of stunned because this was kind of for like last minute, because I thought I had like a week left with them or something like that, and I didn't. So my mom made a deal with her. She was going to give her $50 and $100 so she could pay for vaccines and stuff. So all of them were given up. So I said my final goodbyes, and I cried a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But I got a nice cuddle with all of them. I was trying not to cry in front of them. But I thanked them, I gave them a hug, and I said goodbye. Those cats were the first cats that I have ever fostered. Those cats were wonderful. I love them so very much, and I helped them grow up to who they were. It's always great to foster, and you guys should do it too. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoy these types of videos, and I'll see you guys next time.